Greetings and salutations, welcome back. Going to do a little bit of a different one here. Instead of covering one film or one franchise, just talking more like a little vlog in a way. So I've been looking through my Blu-ray collection, and it's, I think, somewhere up over 650 now, and I've been kind of holding back on a lot of purchases for a while because so many titles are available on one, streaming service or another. But there are some titles that I've always wanted to keep for myself, as well as situations where, in my experience, a lot of the Blu-rays just look better than what comes through on streaming, since on streaming they need to take this giant file that's going to just be huge and try to shrink it down into a format that's going to be easily able to stream over most internet connections. So while they do look great, I've seen on some Blu-rays they definitely look better just being played off of disc at home, especially for 4K titles. But this one's not really about the 4K titles as much as just getting around town to see where can you actually even buy Blu-rays these days. You look at Target these days and their collection is really shrunken down. At least in my area, it looks like one little kiosk that might have a couple of brand new releases or a couple of special editions, and that's it. Best Buy is not the best buy for things. It's hard to find anything there. Again, their collection has shrunk down for some reason. Even Walmart, they used to have a lot of good like anime stuff or horror stuff at Walmart. That's been shrinking as well. And places like Suncoast are out of business, and a lot of other locations. So you're pretty much stuck with Amazon these days unless you're lucky enough to have some local places that will sell some physical media, or having some places that will sell them secondhand, such as FYE that has just started opening up some stores. And recently I came across from FYE, I was able to get Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Return of the Living Dead. Both of them just looked absolutely great on Blu-ray, and that really made me want to go back and kind of fill out my collection with some titles that I didn't have on Blu-ray. Just because they do seem to look and sound a lot better once they've been cleaned up for that release, in many cases, not in all of them. So today I got out to Sound Exchange, which in my area we have a handful of Sound Exchange locations. They have used CDs, vinyl, cassette tapes. They even have some 8-tracks there, as well as a little bit of VHS, a lot of DVD, and they have a decent amount of Blu-ray with a little bit of 4K titles thrown in there as well. And of course, they also have clothing and other merchandise and stereo equipment. So what I was able to get, first off, The Conjuring. Now, I have seen this. It's been a while since I watched it, and I haven't seen any of the sequels. So I figured this would be a good one to add to the collection, watch this one again, and then kind of dive in and check out those sequels that I've been meaning to for a long time. Now, along that same route is Insidious as well, another one that I'd only seen the first. I believe they're on Insidious Part 12 or something right now. They seem to really be cranking out a lot of these sequels. I think they've kind of learned that with horror, you can drop, 5 or 10 million into something and easily make that money back, because even if it just has one really good weekend, you're going to bring that money back. So this one has a lot of sequels, so I figured just like with The Conjuring, I would go ahead and start out with this one and then dive into the rest. Also got You're Next, one that I remember seeing this once a while back, but I've always been wanting to give it another shot. I remember enjoying it, so for $3 I really couldn't turn that one down. And this one was about $10 for 4 of the Purge movies. I believe there's only one that I hadn't seen, but this one has the 4 on it. It has Purge, Purge Anarchy, Purge Election Year, and the first Purge, which are all 4 ones that I'd seen. I remember really enjoying all of those, so I figured pick this one up. $10, you really can't beat that. This one I probably shouldn't have bought. It's Victor Crowley, and the reason why I say that is I have not seen any of the Hatchet films. But for $5, I just felt like I couldn't really turn this one down. So now I just need to track down the other Hatchet films to kind of, so I'll actually understand this movie. And they go for varying prices, anywhere from $10 for one of the films to $30 for another. So I might have to see if they're available on a rental service that I can just pay to rent them instead. But, we'll see. I figured I'd pick up that one. This is one I've had on my list just recently. I have it on DVD, but 13 Ghosts. So this is a, special collector's edition of the Blu-ray. This one was the most expensive out of this whole lot because it's about $20 used. And from what I could tell on Amazon, this is usually going for somewhere around $30 to $35 brand new. So it was definitely a good purchase, I feel like. And I've been wanting to rewatch this one for a while. I always felt that it was a good mix of jump scares with gore, with a decent story, and throwing in, a lot of comedy on top of things, especially by way of Matthew Lillard. Now I got some classics here. This one, Christine, which was great. John Carpenter directed a Stephen King film, or Stephen King book. Of course, I'd seen this one before growing up, and I'd even seen it just in recent years, or maybe about 10 years ago. But I had never seen it on Blu-ray, and looking at how this transfer is, it's amazing. It looks like it's brand new. If you have the chance, definitely check out some of these old ones like this on Blu-ray, because when they clean them up, they really do look amazing. This one I'm really looking forward to checking out. So you may see that I've done a review for The Fog, and I'd watched it for the first time about 2 or 3 months ago. I'd watched a version of it that was, kind of washed out and everything, and then I rewatched it when it came on to Shudder, and that was great, and looks a lot better. But now I want to see what this Blu-ray transfer looks like, to see how much better they kind of cleaned it up. I know there's also a 4K version of this, but seeing as this one was $5 and the 4K one I think is $27, I just had to go with the deal on this one. And along those lines with the classic ones, I also finally picked up Carrie. So I'd seen this one before also. It's been a long time, but I wanted to make sure that since I'd seen the Rage Carrie 2 back in I think the 90s, and I'd seen the remake that came out, I want to say 2008, 2009, maybe 2011, I don't know, somewhere around there. I enjoyed them, but I hadn't seen the original in, well over 10 years, I would say. And I had to make sure that when I bought this one, that it was the one that says Sissy Spacek on it. It is weird that it says John Travolta, since I always felt like William Katt was a bigger part of the movie than him, but I guess he's more marketable. Another classic, which I was definitely glad to pick up, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Steelbook. This one was about $5. Now, I have seen this one before. I've seen most of the movies. I think there might be 1 or 2 entries that I didn't. I've just seen part 2 for the first time about a year and a half ago, and I have a video for that on my channel that I'll link to as well. What's interesting about this one is that I still have, this is one of my birthday presents when I was a kid, was the VHS of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I actually still have one of these. So it was great to finally upgrade that to a Blu-ray. And the only ones that I bought that weren't Blu-ray was this 5 original Occult Classics. Again, this is about $5. So we have some classics on here such as White Zombie. I've always wanted to check that one out. Bela Lugosi and the Devil Bat, Vincent Price and the Bat. And also Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price, because I believe that's what they based I Am Legend off of. So I've been interested to see what that original version was like. And we get the original version of The House on Haunted Hill, which I believe I saw recently is either a Joe Bob Briggs showing or an Elvira showing, that they had that as like part of the special presentation. And then, speaking of classic horror, The Omen. So I had seen The Omen before. This is from late 70s. I remember really enjoying it. I know they made like sequels and spin-offs and everything, and I was really happy to find this one for only $3 until I noticed it has Liev Schreiber and Julia Stiles listed. I accidentally bought the remake. So I heard the remake was okay, but I was really disappointed that that I was just so happy to see The Omen. Even the little picture of the kid on the back, looks a bit old and everything. So I was like, oh wow, The Omen, I'll pick it up, only $3. And I get home, Liev Schreiber, Cotton Weary's in this? Oh no. So I don't know if I'm really in a rush to watch that one. I'd rather watch the original first, and then maybe I can check this one out. Maybe do a little remake review for my channel like I've done for some others. But anyway, so that's what I've just kind of picked up. I figure for this many titles, I think I spent maybe $65 for all of this. I think that's a really good deal. But anyways, what about you? Do you still collect physical media? What kind of lengths do you need to go to actually pick them up these days? Are you stuck with Amazon, or do you have anything local to your area that you're able to pick them up? But anyways, just wanted to do a quick little vlog here with some of the stuff I'm doing with the physical media. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Be sure to check out the other videos I'm going to link to in a moment, and I will see you in the next one.